So, welcome everybody to this talk. Since we are here to share about the maintenance of the body and mind with yoga, I'm sure all of us know the importance of this body. We all use many things in the external world. We use money, we use our various things, clothes, and we all realize that whatever we use, we need to maintain. Similarly, health. The main instrument which we are using for all other use is our body and mind. तो body और mind के maintenance के लिए योग क्या कहता है? Here we are seeing that. Like in the famous bhajan of Kabir, he says, जो की त्यों धरी धीनी चदरिया. He was a saint who maintained his body very well. That's how he could say झीनी रे झीनी and जो की त्यों. That is, he maintained it. So in the Gita we have a shlok which says उद्धिर गत्राणि शुद्ध्यन्ति मनः सत्येन शुद्ध्यति विद्या तपोभ्याम भूताभ्याम विद्या ज्ञाने शुद्ध्यति. Just like the water cleans the body, what do you think cleans the mind? Good thoughts and truth. Truthfulness, cleansing of the mind. Knowledge and penance cleans the soul of a being, and intellect and wisdom purifies our soul. So let us see what can be the practical applications to this in terms of yoga. Actually, in the universe, everything is maintained automatically. All the planets are revolving. Everything is very automatically synchronized. But here, in the case of human beings, we have our mind and body needs a lot of discrimination to be maintained. So whatever the unwanted things, what are the unwanted things that we need to remove from the body and from the mind that we want to see. The visible part in human life is our body, and behind that is our mind. Our inner potentials are the mind, buddhi, chitta and ahankar. All these are inner potentials given by Mother Nature to live a good fulfilled life. Connecting the mind to the divine is yoga. Happiness comes when you maintain the mind in the right manner. When can we say that the happiness of a person disappears? When do we lose our happiness? Can you give some examples when we lose our happiness?
When we do not get response to our way of likes.
When we don't get what we want, in other ways, when else do we lose our happiness?
Any pain.
When we are in pain, body and mind.
Either body or mind.
So what are the things which pain our mind? Give pain to the mind.
Some adversity.
Okay. Nowadays we see that depression is a very, very common thing, because we are actually not practically knowing how to keep the mind happy under all circumstances. Happiness mostly we think is connected to getting. If I get this, I will be happy. If I achieve this position, I will be happy. But actually yoga says that happiness is not a equation to this. It is an equation to some other things also. What do you think that can be?
Emotion.
Keeping the emotions happy. How can we keep the emotions happy?
Happiness itself is an emotion.
Yes. So
And
it can be a byproduct of what according to yoga?
It's a choice. Okay, byproduct of what?
It will be a byproduct of giving happiness.
We should make a habit that we should be happy for no reason.
Yes. Need not find reasons to be happy. One important thing is, like अभी नरेंद्र मोदी का जब इंटरव्यू करा था स्टूडेंट्स ने, they asked him that you must be very happy since you became the prime minister. He said, yes, I was happy, but I got greater happiness when I gave one of the students the facility of learning. So imagine he became the Prime Minister, but still his happiness was more when he made somebody else happy. So maybe one of the ways is like giving. In nature, we see that everything gives. The waste products go into Mother Earth, and the earth makes it into nice khad and gives it back to us. And the trees are taking carbon dioxide and giving back oxygen to us. So maybe one of the ways to be happy would be giving happiness. So according to yoga, in our daily routine, one time can be fixed for selfless work. The happiness which we will get there may be very different. And when the mind is happy, sadness will naturally disappear. A mind full of contentment is the mind which can establish itself in God. So contentment is a product of, just being grateful for whatever we have. Usually our mind goes to what we don't have. Throughout the day, now we all have paper and pencil. Can we just write 10 positive points which have happened in the day? We'll just take 2 minutes.
Sorry.
We'll take 2 minutes and we will write down all 10 positive points which have happened to us in the day. Forty seconds more. You can just write in short points. This was 2 minutes. How many of us have got 10 points? किस के कितने हो गए? How many could you get?
7.
7 you got?
4.
4 points. 7, 8, 8. So most of the time, many times we realize that the mind cannot grasp the good points as fast as it can grasp. If something went wrong, whole day we will harp on that. Leave day, we will harp for it for years together. On such and such a day this happened, she did this, that one. But the good points, they go off very fast. So maybe it's a question of training the mind. Ki I see the good. The moment I see something bad, I have to tell myself stop. Because there is a saying in yoga that whatever is there inside is reflected outside. Even though we may not understand it right away, but still, the way of maintenance is nothing but purification. If I want to maintain this room, I have to do jhadu pocha. I have to purify. So any maintenance is purification. So for the body and for the mind, I need purification. So there are ways to purify the mind, which is called tapa. Tapa in yoga is purification. So how can you give some examples of how you think we can purify our mind? because to maintain it I'll have to purify it. There is no other way. Every day it is getting dirty, but consciously, because I can't see it, I am not doing anything about it. So can somebody suggest what I can actually do to maintain my pure state of mind, maintain the health of my mind, because that's going to be my instrument to lead me. Yes,
Meditation,
meditation. Okay,
good thoughts.
good thoughts. So the moment a wrong thought enters, what can be the way to stop it or to correct it? What technique can I use?
Deep breathing.
Yes, what else?
Smile.
Okay,
Only that's right.
very nice. What else?
No.
Replace with positive thinking, positive.
So have we actually done something of replacement with positive? Has anybody tried anything actually replacing, whether a negative thought came and you replaced it with
Yes,
positive?
see,
Anybody
actually,
wants to share?
I tried to do it, not fully successful.
Huh.
Seeing a good thing in every event. I mean, suppose if it is a bad event, something setback also, what I gained, either learning or maybe another opportunity is waiting for me. Something like that.
Correct. So our human mind is very rational. We try to see, okay, what has been good in this. The yogis have very easily put it in the form of acceptance. They have said whatever comes you accept. Because our mind, sometimes we may be able to rationalize it, sometimes we may not be able to. For example, there was this Birbal and Akbar ki kahani where his Akbar's finger got cut, and Birbal said, whatever happens, happens for good. And he was really angry. He said, my finger has got cut. I think all of you know that story. And then they captured him for Bali, and they could not give him for Bali because his hand was. So the moral is that even if we may not be able to see exactly, I might have fallen or some situation in life may have been adverse to me, but very simple theory given in yoga is acceptance. Okay, this is happening to me, I accept it. Most of the time we resist. When we see that something, when we feel according to our own mind that okay, this is not good for me, this has happened wrong, then we become sad. We start blaming. We get into the blame mode very, very easily, forgetting that this is for our growth. So maybe we can take this important aspect of acceptance for the purification of the mind. Just in nature, everything is cooperating. Day is for work, night is for rest. How many of us actually don't take that full rest in the night? Late nights we have.
Sometimes.
Not always, but this age group, I think most of you are having late nights. In yoga it is said that 1 hour of sleep before 12 is equivalent to 2 hours of sleep after 12, and the nature has made it in such a way, broad daylight, then we work. In night, yes, actually the thing is so simple ki day is for work and night is for rest, that simplicity itself is so deceptive that we hardly bothered ki theek hai raat hai, so we continue working. Many things, the simplicity becomes deceptive. So let's just try to be in tune with nature and use the morning time. See, morning time is very, very conducive. There are no disturbances. The vibrations are such that it will help us to meditate. So let us use the morning time for the tapa of the body. We get up, we do some swadhyaya, whether it's meditation, prayer, in whatever way we can contemplate. And after that, get the body going in terms of exercise. All of you must be having some form of exercise. What do you do in terms of exercise? Do you spend some time?
Not for exercise, but
Huh.
the exercise itself is coming to work and going back.
Okay, you consider that as exercise. You walk and go?
Most of the time I try to work.
Okay, and then maybe pranayam, deep breathing, all that helps the mind to relax. Can we do some pranayam right now? Yes?
Reading the music, playing with children.
Yes, because all that gives happiness.
Changing the mind. No, from negativity, positivity.
Yes, and being very, very alert the moment one negative thing enters. Is just like one big Rakshas entering, we will not let a thief enter, we'll say out or call the police. But here the mind, so easily we let any thought, we keep thinking, we let any thought enter, we have to be careful. So let us do some pranayam. One, let us all assume a comfortable position. The ideal position is actually cross-legged. So let us breathe in through nose and breathe out through mouth with the feeling of peace. Breathe in love and breathe out forgiveness. The main thing which comes in the way of our life is hard feelings, for maybe for ourselves or maybe for others. So let us breathe in love and breathe out forgiveness. Start with, first 10 rounds, start with forgiving your own self. Wherever you have been hard on yourself, very tight with yourself, तूने ये ठीक नहीं करा, ये ऐसा नहीं, वो वैसा नहीं, just be very easy with yourself, forgive yourself. So breathe in love for yourself and breathe out forgiveness for yourself. Let's do 10 rounds of that. Close your eyes. Breathe in loving yourself nicely, deeply, and breathe out with self-forgiveness. Relax your shoulders. The back is straight, but the shoulders are relaxed. Breathe in completely, breathe in love, and breathe out forgiveness for your own self. Breathe in love. Breathe out forgiveness. Breathe in love wholly and completely. Forgive yourself totally. Breathe in love. Breathe out forgiveness. Breathe in love. Breathe out forgiveness. Once again, breathe in a lot of love. Breathe out forgiveness. Breathe in love. Breathe out forgiveness. Breathe in love. Breathe out forgiveness. Gently open your eyes. Identify any area where you have still not forgiven yourself. Has each one forgiven themselves completely? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Has everyone forgiven their own selves completely? Or any reservations? Any place where you're very harsh upon yourself, ki no, this was too bad, I can't forgive? If so, just hug the child within you and do complete forgiveness in one long breath. Whatever remnants are there, completely, totally forgive yourself. Take one last long breath. Love yourself totally and completely forgive yourself. Now we go on to deep breathing for forgiving others. Only one who can forgive himself can forgive others. What we can't do with our own self, we can never do with others. That we always have to remember. जो हम अपने साथ करेंगे वही हम दूसरों के साथ कर सकते हैं. So let us now forgive others. See, most of the time the others are close people. We have nothing to do with people who are not connected with us who are not related with us, we don't care. In the sense, not we don't care, but we don't harbor hurts so easily. But we harbor hurts only with very near people, because our expectations there are great. Although in yoga it is said, expect not, for you shall not be disappointed, but we have our own mistakes because we are here to grow. So let us now do again 10 rounds of deep breathing and forgive our near and dear ones where we feel some things have not gone okay with us. It has gone perfectly okay, because everything is planned and designed for our own benefit. But in our small little minds, we might have felt it's not okay. So let us now close our eyes and do forgiveness to others with 10 rounds of deep breathing. Keep your own count. Breathe in love, breathe out forgiveness. Smile at that person whom you are angry with or whom you were angry with. Be loving to that person whom you were angry with. Imagine that you are hugging that person whom you found faults with. Do that wholeheartedly for 10 rounds with your breathing. Let the breath be whole and complete, without any reservations. Completely forgive each and everyone. Be free. This is the path to being light and free. Remember, it's not a favor to anybody else but to your own self. We have bound ourselves by harboring grudges and hurts. Let us become free and fly high as a bird. We'll feel so light. When you feel you've completely forgiven each and every one, then you can open your eyes. Be happy that you got the courage to forgive. Forgiveness is an act of great courage and of the strong. Weak people cannot forgive. अपने आप को शाबाशी दे दीजिए कि आपने आज the people whom you wanted to forgive, you are free from their bondage. You have freed yourself from the invisible chains which you had tied yourself, which we have tied ourselves unknowingly. Of course, knowingly nobody would do it, but we were not aware. And pat yourself for that. Our parents, maybe in some places we thought that this was not okay. Remember each and every relation where we were not okay with. Wherever we were not okay, let us be free by forgiving. Friends, close people, relatives, children, partner. So have we all finished with this exercise? How do you feel?
Okay. Not much difference again.
Not
Much difference.
not much difference. Okay, I would recommend each one of us to do this exercise in front of the mirror. Look at yourself eye to eye in the morning when you go to brush. Before that, look at yourself eye to eye in the mirror and forgive yourself. This is an ongoing process. Sometimes it happens very easily, but it's always ongoing. And how many of us do look eye to eye in the mirror and see something positive? And how many of us look eye to eye and see something negative? अरे बाल सफ़ेद हो गए या झुर्री आ गई or whatever. So who sees the positive and who, let us just see. Most of the time our mind goes to something negative. I've become fat or whatever. So let us now try to consciously do this, that when in the morning when we go to the mirror, I'll see something nice about myself eye to eye. Unless I tell something nice about myself, how can I expect others to do that? First I have to do it for myself. So can we do that? Maybe half a minute is more than enough to say something. How anybody who's seeing in the mirror and saying something positive already? Are you? Not yet. So all of us can start. In the morning our duty is to see. Our happiness is in seeing ourselves and saying something positive. It's not ego, it's just that we are, learning to only see good and happiness, because God has created the world like that. God has created the world for happiness and rejoicing. But what has happened is, and the whole nature is rejoicing actually. The birds, the flowers, everything is rejoicing. But human beings, our mind, gets, we have not trained it. We have not done tapa. What will be tapa for the mind? What do you think is, what all tapa can we do for our own mind? One we can say.
One is the at night time before bed, you have to review your day.
Okay.
What you have done,
Yeah.
how you could do better.
Okay.
So that will be one of the
Okay.
exercise for me.
That will be very nice. Swadhyaya, reflection. Like a third person we have to review.
Yeah.
Like most of the time we can't see
Without
our own.
Without criticizing ourselves.
Yes. Without beating ourselves up. We have a great habit to beat ourselves up and put ourselves down. So we have to lift ourselves up. Only when we lift ourselves we can get that help. So from far see, okay Sangeeta, today you did this, Sangeeta, you went whatever, like from far.
Third position.
Third position. Some of the rishis used to do that. They never used to say I. They never used to use the word I. They used to say the name, or they used to say Shivananda aaj ye hua, because they wanted to see from distance. What do you think is the benefit of seeing from distance? See.
You will reduce the prejudice.
Okay. And see, now if I am trying to see from near, I can't read. But when this goes far, I can read. I can see. If I distance myself, I will be able to see properly. That's what they say. We can try it. And then the tapa of the mind, one more thing is there. To just decide to be happy. The moment something comes in between of happiness, cut it. Cut it and decide that I am going to be happy. Let me see now what comes in my way. That way. The children are always like that. The children have that sparkle in their eyes. Even if the mother beats, next moment they are gone to hug the mother with the same thing. So maybe we can take one action, that every night I will not keep anything pending. Finish whatever it is with whoever it is and then go to bed. Instead of carrying that many times, husband and wife, one side husband, one side wife. Inside we carry.
You get good sleep by doing that.
Yeah, we have to remember, we are not doing favor to anybody. We are doing only favor to ourselves. That's why the rishis made all these things. They were not doing for others. They were doing for their own liberation and happiness, and it cannot be called selfishness. It is a part of our duty. So, is it simple, or what will come in the way? Anything you find difficult? Let's share and let's see how we can go about it. Any problem, anything you feel is not practical, let's share. Anybody feels anything is not practical?
Did it previously, initially I got biased, नहीं ये बराबर नहीं है, मेरा ही opinion बराबर था. If I argued in a day with somebody and repercussion of that, maybe something, opportunity which I wanted I could not get. So initially for that I was thinking that other person was wrong.
Correct.
But then slowly I got the some insight that मेरा भी कहाँ गलती हुआ है.
Now let us rise above right and wrong. Let us just see that there are various angles to looking at a thing. If we go into right and if we go into wrong, we get trapped. This is right, this is wrong. Then we get into ego, that I was right. Just let us see that there are different views of things. For example, Louis Hay, she said there are 250 ways to clean vessels. 250 ways. So we can say, okay, this is a different way, that is a different way. Most of the time we get trapped into thinking that what I am thinking is right. That's what we do, all of us. कि जो मैं सोच रही हूँ वो सही है. So let us just change that thinking. Okay, this is one way of thinking. Maybe there is some other way, some other way, some other way. Let's look at it like that, and let us leave now this right and wrong. Let us just see there are different views of a particular thing, so that we may be free and we may be able to see the other person's point. Regarding this, Ramakrishna Paramhans had a story of what is right and wrong. Anybody knows about Machhiwali and Phoolwali?
I don't remember.
You knew that story. Somebody had a question about right and wrong, and then Ramakrishna wanted to explain to the disciples that there is nothing like good or bad, right and wrong. We have to rise above these things. So he gave this story. There was a Machhiwali and Phoolwali, both were very great friends. They met after a long time. So then they got chatting, and then they said, okay, let's spend the night together. So the Phoolwali went to the Machhiwali's house, and they both chatted. Then they realized that it's almost morning, we need to get some sleep. So when they were sleeping, the smell of the machi was troubling the Phoolwali. So she got some good idea. She went and got some flowers and she kept it near her. The moment she got the smell of the flower, she slept. The moment those flowers came there, this Machhiwali got terrified. She said, oh my God, I can't get sleep. What is wrong? I can't get sleep. So she also found one idea. She went and got some machi and she kept it near her. She got the smell of the machi and she got good sleep. Now Ramakrishna asked, what is good? Which was good smell? Machi ka smell or phool ka smell? Who would like to answer? Which was the good smell?
Both are good.
For her, that was conducive to her sleep. For her, this was conducive. So the reason why we say rise above right and wrong is, all these things are very, very relative depending on the person, the time, the state. That is what is relativity all
And
about.
if we really examine, there is no right or wrong. It is useful or not useful.
Yes.
Any situation.
Yes. So, but in a whole line, from bad we come to good, or from negative we come to positive, and then after that we rise above, because straight away from that negative we cannot rise above both. So that is the reason why good habits and everything is, because from negative we have to come. That is the cycle of growth. So let us just practice one asana which is called Talasana. Let's stand. It comes under neuromuscular coordination. Our feet is 1 feet apart. Make your feet 1 feet apart. Anybody having BP or anybody having BP? Okay. So Masi, you will not take your feet up. Only hand. Anybody else? Whoever has BP, don't come up on the feet. Get the feet parallel like a railway track. Okay. But only 1 feet distance. Your own 1 feet. Yes. So as we are inhaling, that is a little more than 1 feet. आपका खुद का एक पैर. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we want to do, we want to coordinate the hand, the breath and the leg. You realized how the leg came first? So when I say 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's keep it to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, the breath and the hand go up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, the breath and the hand go down. So let's start. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. ज़्यादातर सबका पैर पहले आ गया और हाथ कोऑर्डिनेट करना है, हाथ को, ब्रेथ को और पैर को. और जिनकी भी ब्रेथ की आवाज़ आ रही है वो ब्रेथ ज़रा आराम से हल्के से ले लीजिए. इनहेल 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Breathe with ease. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. हाथ थोड़ा पीछे से वापस आना. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. कौन कौन with ease breathe नहीं कर रहा था? मुझे आवाज़ आ रही थी सांस की. How many of us are not breathing with ease? Whose breath is heard? Can we breathe with more ease? Peacefully. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale साइड से लीजिए. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. This is a variation. You can do Namaste with your hands on top. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Did you hear the sound of your breath? Inhale 2, 3, 4. Cross at the wrist. Exhale 2, 3, 4. You did not come on your toes. You have BP? You are falling. Okay. So slowly, if you will fix your gaze at one point, focus at one point, right there and try. Last round. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Relax. So maybe in the morning, in the bed we can do stretching, hands on top and legs down, and standing we can do this asana. Let us now experience the Om chanting, which we can do for 3 minutes. In Om chanting, what all are the benefits? What do you think will be the benefits for Om chanting? It's a form of pranayam because we are exhaling long. What else do you think will be the benefit of Om? Will it help to calm the mind or will it agitate the mind? Calm the mind. Okay. What else? Usually the mind graph is like this all the time. So we want to just get it like this. What else? Let us experience. Our back is straight but relaxed. Straight but relaxed. Take a deep breath. For 3 minutes we will chant Om. And we will take out the Om sound from our stomach. Bahar. Take a deep breath. Let it be half O and half M, and as long as possible. Take a deep breath in. Now we will maintain silence for 1 minute. Just watch your breath. Silence the mind. Even if a thought tries to enter, gently bring your mind back to the breath. Slowly and gently open your eyes. Thank you for your patient listening. Any questions or anything you want to share?